Gary, you're an investor in this, so tell me about these investors. Besides yourself, who are some of these individuals that are investing in these startups or these established companies that just need, some more resources?
Sure. Well, that's the exciting part about this whole thing. I mean, OEN is really exciting, and Gorge OEN and everything is very exciting. But what people don't understand is we have about 35 investors in the group, and they range from a police chief, several lawyers, several accountants, up to the recently retired head of the largest employer in the Gorge. There's a number of people who have had businesses, sold businesses. We collectively sort of brainstormed and put together. The group, as a group, has bought and sold in excess of $1 billion worth of businesses. Billion with a B.
Wow.
And it's pretty impressive. We have people who have owned one or two little mom and pop shops. We have one investor who used to own all of the real estate agencies, all of the real estate offices in the Gorge until he sold it. B&B owners, I mean, it's just a wide variety. And what that really offers, what's really important about that, is the management expertise, the ability to start a business, successfully grow a business, and exit a business is amazing. Out of the 35 people in the group, there's collectively 100 businesses that everybody's been involved in that they've successfully grown, sold. We've had some failures too, so we also know the hard knocks of starting a business and not succeeding. But we bring that to the table. And when we get involved with a company and invest in the company and help the company, usually what we end up doing is we end up on the board and we end up helping the company make management changes.
Oh.
Change the way they look for money, change the way they do their accounting, help them with their sales and marketing. I'm an old marketing guy, so often I get involved in helping them with their marketing program and plans and things like that. So they get a huge amount of expertise. And even though we've only done this 4 years and we've invested 4 years in 4 conferences, and in the conferences we've given away, or we've invested, we don't give anything away, we invest money in these companies, we've invested a little less than $500,000 in the 4 years. But as a group, individually, we've invested in 3 times as many companies and invested probably $1.5 million to $2 million.
Really?
In the individual businesses that somebody individually liked that didn't win in the conference.
Oh, okay.
We would turn around and say, well, we still like that company. We'll help them. We'll invest money. And we had one company last year who came back 2 years after presenting the first time that won the conference.
Really?
Yes. And has gotten 6 investments from people, part of Gain, as side investments to the original investment they got from Gain. So.
Okay.
So where this goes is amazing.
Right, so just because you don't win, sort of if I can use something very current, American Idol. Sometimes the winners don't have near the success that some of the people that didn't win.
Right.
So
we have examples like that.
Yeah, where people actually, because they got the networking and the exposure, they were matched up with the right people who saw the potential.
So we have the Pub Talk events that get people and companies ready for the Gorge Angel Conference, which is sort of like a pub talk on steroids. Mm-hmm. And there are some winners of that conference, and they get an opportunity to enter into negotiations with Gain.
Which is where we come in.
For an anticipated investment of $100,000 minimum, sometimes more. And talk a little bit about the companies that the winners of the conferences, the kinds of companies.
Well, they varied from an established 5-year-old apparel company to a truly seed company, online produce brokerage company, a developer of a I'm not even sure what you're
online
a search and recommendation software, and then the latest was a lady who pioneered a way of swaddling a baby.
Yeah, the swaddle keeper.
The swaddle keeper.
Yeah.
So it's a real wide variety, and it's a very interesting mix of companies.
All Gorge companies.
All Gorge
Right.
companies. But this coming year, we're working on a new concept that we're going to give them even more opportunities, and that's what you need to tell them about.
Well, this year we're going to be focusing on really helping the entrepreneur to connect beyond the Gorge. So they get what they need here in the Gorge to get going, and then that sets them on a very clear pathway towards bigger money and other opportunities.
Aha.
So not only can Gorge winners and other companies participate in the other 4 angel conferences in the state, we're also talking about a statewide angel conference that would feature the best and brightest that the whole state has to offer. And those companies then would compete there. It would be an opportunity to attract venture capital and just more opportunity for companies to get even bigger money. So we're helping companies prepare for larger things.
Okay.
So the Pub Talk introduces people to networking. Networking introduces them to the conference. The conference networks them to OEN in Portland, which has 3 or 4 investment groups right now. And the number 1 and number 2 companies in our conference and the other newly created OEN conferences around the state that are similar to, that are modeled after our conference will all roll up into an event in Portland.
Ooh.
It gets really exciting.
Yeah.
So that's the future.
All right. Well, unfortunately, we could talk. We could talk about this for a long time, but we've only got a half hour, and unfortunately, we're out of time. But we'd love to hear how that event goes. So you'll have to keep us posted, and
Okay.
I want to. Yeah, we'll have to keep following this. So. Gary, Robin, thank you so much, both of you, for coming in. I
Thank you.
appreciate it. Nice to see you again. Nice
Thank
to meet
you.
you, Gary.
Thank you very much.
Absolutely. You guys, thanks for joining us, and remember, take care of each other. We'll see you next time.
Do you have a guest idea? Let us know. Go to localite.com.